I've got the inside scoop on Boss Shot Shell's new copper loads, and this is what they're not telling you. First off, full disclosure, my name is Kyle Green. I'm the host of the Greenway Outdoors. My company is actually partners with Boss Shot Shells. I always say your family and friends know you best, and because I got so close with Boss when developing these products, I kind of have the inside scoop that other people won't tell you, and you're not going to find in any marketing brochure. Now, the reason they're making the premium loads out of copper now is just simply because they can't get bismuth. They were getting it from China like everybody else. They can't do that now, and for the foreseeable future, bismuth isn't going to be a good component to use in shotgun shells because it's either going to be really expensive or impossible to get. If anybody is still selling it, by the way, they're just selling you old stock, and once it's gone, it's going to be done for them too. Oh, and a quick side note on supply chain issues, I wouldn't get comfortable with TSS either. My prediction is in the next year or two, you're not going to be able to get that in shotgun shells either. So out with the old, in with the new, on to copper. Making pellets out of copper is significantly more time intensive and labor intensive than bismuth ever was, which is probably why Boss didn't do it in the first place. To give you an example, getting bismuth to a molten level would be like 520 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas copper is 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But once Brandon figured out the process, we came in to start helping with the marketing services. So we took some of the new loads and some of our older loads out, the bismuth versus the copper, to just see how the performance was. I anticipated the copper having a little bit less penetration than the bismuth just because it's only 94% the density. But what we were finding was it was equal to or slightly greater than the average bismuth. And also the shot string in the gel block was way tighter, meaning there was more consistency with how much penetration we were seeing with the copper loads. Testing a bunch of theories, Brandon figured out that because the copper pellets were 50% harder than bismuth, they were all holding their shape perfectly, which means they were flying downrange more consistently and penetrating deeper because of it. It's kind of the same reason why they make cars aerodynamic. And these tests kind of prove that the whole razor's edge theory that some of the manufacturers push, got a razor edge and helps cut into the meat and this and that, it's all kind of a gimmick. The truth is those pellets aren't going to fly as true, they're not as aerodynamic, and they're certainly not going to penetrate as deep as a perfectly round pellet, but they're a lot easier to make, and that's probably why you're seeing those marketing pushes. Surprise number 2 came at the patterning board. So we were shooting at 40 yards with 3 different chokes, modified, improved, modified, and full. And what we found was the pellet count was almost exactly the same inside a 30-inch circle at 40 yards, but the patterns were just more dense and focused on the center with the tighter choke. So the full choke, it was pretty condensed in the middle. Improved modified was slightly more open, and modified was pretty well spread out, which told me that this is a shell that I'm definitely going to shoot a looser choke with, but also you can't really go wrong. All of the chokes had the same number of pellets in the 30-inch circle. But what really fires me up about these loads is that now the shot is produced, even the raw material for the shot is produced in the United States of America. The manufacturing all happens in Michigan. Good American families working hard to make shot for you with a direct-to-consumer model that's going to make it hard for all the copycats that are coming to beat Boss's pricing.